If you're looking to sell your bulk or code cards, check out Guardian Games TCGs. Just fill out a quick form, and you can get paid quickly for your bulk and codes. Plus, they have codes from all the recent expansions for great prices. Use code ETHAN10 for 10% off your purchase. Link in the description.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to TCG, the channel that brings you guys competitive Pokemon content. Today, we're going to be doing a deck profile on Pikachu and Zekrom-GX tag team deck with some updates of cards coming out in the Rebels Clash expansion, which will release next month in May. Mainly the reason that I built this is this deck has an incredible matchup spread with the decks that are coming out in Rebels Clash. It takes mainly positives to a lot of the stuff that is coming out. So I wanted to do an updated list, max consistency list, that I think will be really solid. Obviously not for the real season because it's canceled, but for a lot of those who are playing in online tournaments. So let's just get right into the deck list. If you guys want to see more Rebels Clash deck profiles and content, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like down below, and comment what other decks you want to see or what other content you want to see. I hopefully have some more exciting stuff coming out for you guys that we'll try to get out as fast as we can. Alright, to get right into it, we do play 2 copies of Pikachu and Zekrom-GX. For those of you who don't know, we are playing this for the full blitz attack. 3 lightning energy does 150 damage, and you search your deck for 3 lightning energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon. And this is really, really nice because this gets our lightning attackers powered up really quickly. And it also does some nice damage. 150 is nothing to scoff at. Another thing to note is it does have a taggable GX attack. For 3 lightning, does 200, and if it has an additional 3 energy attached to it, you do 170 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is a great way to take multiple prizes if your opponent's not putting pressure onto this. Keep in mind this is one of the lighter HP tag teams, only having 240, but it still puts on enough aggression that the HP really doesn't matter that much on this thing. Alright. Next card we're playing is actually new from Rebels Clash. We are playing 2 copies of Boltund V. Boltund V is really interesting here. So it has 200 HP, gives it 2 prizes because it is a V Pokemon. Its first attack for 1 lightning energy. It lets you search your deck for 2 energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon. Attach them to your Pokemon in any way you'd like. Which is really, really cool and really interesting. Because if you do miss your turn 1 full blitz, you do have other outs to get your energies in play. Which is super, super cool, super, super nice. And we are mainly also playing it for the second attack, which does 10 plus 30 more for each lightning energy in play. So late game, when you have your lightning energies all into play because of full blitz and Tapu Koko Prism Star, which we'll get into, you can hit for some serious damage with this thing. Alright. Next off, we're playing a bunch of one-of support Pokemon and attackers. The main attacker that we're also playing this deck is Raichu and Alolan Raichu tag team. This does have the Tandem Shock attack. This does 80 damage plus 80 more if it was on your bench and became the active, and you paralyze. The paralysis is really big here because you force your opponent to find your switching cards. And this also does 160 damage, which is really, really solid. And also, Lightning Ride GX is also a GX attack that I think is probably the most used GX attack in this deck. Does 150 and switches that with one of your bench Pokemon. But if it does have an additional 2 lightning energy attached to it, you get to do 100 more damage. So you do 250, and with the help of Electropowers and as your damage modifier, you can hit really high numbers and even knock out those VMAX Pokemon that are slowly making their way into the format, and definitely will be with the addition of Rebels Clash. Next, we play 1 copy of Tapu Koko V. This card is just solid, man. Like, having pre-retreat, 200 HP, and really good damage output is really nice. It does 200 damage for 3 energies. It can't attack next turn, but we have ways to get around that. But we're mainly playing it, again, just for that attack. And it is a V, so it only gives up 2 prizes, and 200 HP is pretty good. And it's also our best starter in the deck because it has free retreat. So that's something to keep in mind, is you're going to want to start this thing 9 times out of 10 if you have it. It's low odds, obviously, as it's one of in the deck. We don't play that many Pokemon, so it's not the end of the world. And then next up, we play 1 copy of Zeraora-GX for that Thunderclap Zone ability, which gives everything that has lightning energy attached to it free retreat. Which is really nice, especially paired up with our Raichu and Raichu, because we can easily set up combos for Tandem Shock, which is super, super cool and super nice. So that's definitely something to note, and this is also a great addition because it also helps us set up our combos for turn 1 full blitz, which is what this list is meant to do. It's meant to hit turn 1 full blitz very consistently. Alright, move this over a little bit over here to the side. So we have space for everything. Next we're playing 3 copies of Dedenne-GX for that data change ability. That says, once during your turn, when you play this onto your bench, you discard your hand and draw 6 cards. Keep in mind you can only use 1 data change per turn. But again, this is Really, really nice draw support. It is Lightning Pokemon. I don't think it's that relevant in here. You can use Tainly Return GX if you want to, or Static Shock to do 50, but we're mainly just playing it for the Data Change ability, which is very, very nice and helps us thin through our deck really fast. We are playing 3 copies of that. And then we are playing 2 more Pokemon here. We're playing 1 copy of Marshadow for this Resetting Hole ability, which says if it's on our bench, you can discard it and then discard a Stadium card in play. So this is nice to get around things like Chaotic Swell, or we only play 1 Stadium in the deck, so this is essentially additional Fill Blower to get rid of some Stadium cards that we don't want our opponent being able to use. Alright. And then lastly, we play Tapu Koko Prism Star. This is, I think, an inclusion in every Lightning deck, with the ability to Dance with the Ancients, that says if it's on your bench, you can choose 2 Lightning Energy from your discard pile and attach 1 to 2 of your Pokemon. So you get 2 energy back onto 2 different things, and then this and all cards attached to it. This goes in the Lost Zone, and all other cards attached to it are discarded. So this is really what allows the turn 1 Full Blitz combo to occur. There was no surprise that this card was made in the same set as Pikarom, as the 2 are clearly linked for synergy, and this is what allows this deck to be so good. Perfect. So that's it for the Pokemon. Now for the trainer cards. We'll start out with the supporters. We're playing 4 copies of Professor's Research. We're mainly just playing this because it lets us discard our hand and draw 7 cards. We need to thin through our deck and find the pieces that we need, and this is the perfect way to do it. Alright. Next up, we are playing 4 copies of Volkner. Volkner is a really cool card, perfect for these Lightning decks. Let's search your deck for an item card and a Lightning Energy and put them into your hand. So this is perfect if we need to find our Quick Balls to find our Pokemon, or our Electropower cards to boost our damage. And grabbing Lightning Energy is also really good, because a lot of the times you are missing an extra energy for these additional effects for cards like Raichu and Pikarom. So it's really nice to be able to just find that out of the deck, and find an item card as well. Next up, we are playing 3 copies of Boss's Orders. This is a new card coming out in Rebels Clash. The reason this card is so good is it is a reprint card of a card that we actually knew a while ago, Lysander. Has the exact same text. It says, switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. So this is a more consistent gust than we had in the format. Before, we had to rely on coin flips or combo manipulation pieces, or only gusting up certain things. Now we don't have to worry about that anymore. And that means that Pikarom can put on additional pressure and take easy prizes on Dedenne-GX and other tag team Pokemon and other Pokemon that give up more than just 1 prize card. That's all we play for supporters. So we'll get into the item cards. Pretty simple item cards to start off. We play 4 copies of Quick Ball. This is a staple ball support that we got in Sword and Shield. Lets us discard a card from our hand and search our deck for a basic Pokemon. This is great because discarding Lightning Energy is also relevant for Tapu Koko. So it's perfect. Grabs us all of our basics. We only play basics in the deck. And it's perfect because it also discards some energy. And so we play 4 of those. Next up, we play 4 copies of Electropower. Sorry, I'm playing 2 different arts. One of them is the promo art for League, for Pokemon League. But anyhow, this just says, during your turn, your Lightning Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active, which is super cool because it's essentially an old choice band, essentially, but it hits everything. Which basically means if we get these at the right time, obviously there's times we have to research them away or to deny them away, we can give our Pokemon an extra punch, so to say. So we're playing 4 of those. Then we were playing 4 copies of Switch, playing a whole lot of different artworks, but they all do the same thing. Switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon, and this helps us set up for the Full Blitz combos and resets the Raichu to be able to Tandem Shock again, and it's just a consistent card that I think a lot of decks are playing, and if not, they should be playing at this point. It's my favorite artwork of this card. We're playing 4 copies of Energy Switch. Energy Switch lets us move a basic energy from one of our Pokemon to another one of our Pokemon. So again, when we Full Blitz into stuff, we can even, if we have an opening to tag Ball GX, we can go play down Thunder Mountain, which I'll explain, and then attach an Energy Switch, and now we can use the tag Ball GX attack. So a lot of pressure can come out of left field with this card. And we are playing 4 because we are consistently trying to get the combo of Energy for turn onto Pikarom, Dance of the Ancients, and then Energy Switch the other energy, and find a way to get this thing in the active. We have other ways to do it as well, but that's the most common way that this deck strives to achieve that goal. Alright, next up we are playing 2 copies of Electromagnetic Radar. This card is great. This was the old search before Quick Ball came out. Lets you have to discard 2 cards from your hand, so it's the price of Ultra Ball, but lets you search your deck for 2 Lightning Pokemon GX and EXs. Well, we're only dealing with GXs here, but this is great because we can find Pikarom and Dedenne, or Pikarom Raichu, or even a Zeraora. This basically is the best search early game for these for the big things we need to get out, our big tag teams and our GXs. And we are playing 2 of those, so we have 6 search outs. And then we're playing 2 copies of Reset Stamp. This card is really, really solid. It says your opponent shuffles their hand to their deck, and they get to draw a card for each prize card they have left. So stamp to 1, stamp to 2. It's very, very good. This is best used when paired with Tandem Shock, as you can stamp it to a really low hand size where they have less outs of finding Switch, and basically say, all right, it's on you, man. If you find Switch, you put on a little bit of pressure. If not, I'm going to take 3 prizes next turn. So definitely want to play some of these cards in our deck, and we want to be able to consistently hit it when we want to. New cards coming out, I'm playing the old art that it was reprinted from, is Tool Scrapper. This is a card that came out in Black and White era. I forgot the exact set. I think this is Dragon's Exalted, maybe. It says choose up to 2 Pokemon tool cards attached to your opponent's Pokemon and discard them. Oh, and it can also be your Pokemon as well. So this is great because we can get rid of a whole lot of stuff, right? We can get rid of skateboards. It's just really good to play. If there are some of those weird tools, I know Giant Bomb is going to become a little bit more popular. Dragapult V, we can basically go, okay, Tool Scrapper it away. Now it's not a threat anymore. From there, we are playing 1 copy of Great Catcher. This card, it's still, with the release of these, very good by any means. And again, it says that you can play this card if you discard 2 cards from your hand and then bring up one of your opponent's EX or GX cards. Only GX we're dealing with here. But yeah, it's just still really, really good Gust. And then we play 1 tool card in this deck, 2 copies of it, Big Charm. And Big Charm specifically just says, the Pokemon this card is attached to gets 30 more HP. So this makes our Pikarom a 273 prizer. It can make Raichu 290. I know it gets scary when you add the math up, but this is definitely a good thing to play. There's no downsides to playing this. It just makes math for our opponent really annoying. A 2-shot they set up, oh, I'll ping your Pikarom for 132 turns in a row, and you throw a Big Charm on it, and they're like, oh, now I have to find Tool Scrapper and consistently execute my strategy. It's not fun. And then we're playing 1 Stadium in the deck. It's the best Stadium for Lightning Pokemon. It's Thunder Mountain Prism Star card. The card says the attacks of all Lightning Pokemon in play cost 1 Lightning Energy less. And this is really, really good. We are an all Lightning deck, and it's great to be playing a card that has such good support for Lightning Pokemon. It can allow Tag Bolt GX even to be 5 energy, and more importantly, Full Blitz can only cost us 2 energy, which is even an attachment and a Tapu Koko onto our Pikarom. So this is definitely a really good card to play in the deck. And that's it for trainers. And then for energy, we are playing 3, 6, 9, 12 Lightning Energy, as we want to get a lot of these into play, and the more we're playing, it also works really well with Boltund V. And yeah, that's the list, guys. If I had to give any possible inclusions, I would consider playing Stadium Nav. Again, this is a max consistency list. Stadium Nav is a coin flip card, but it also, if with a 75% chance of hitting at least 75% chance of hitting a heads, you can definitely play this to grab Thunder Mountain, which is really important on the first turn. Some other inclusions, you can go for the old variant and not play Boss's Orders and play more of an aggro style deck with Pokemon catchers. You can also play Order Pads. I saw a list playing Order Pads so they can find all those item cards they want to play. You can also play Tag Switch in this. I'm just going for Energy Switch because it's more consistent, but you can definitely play cut these down to like 2 Energy Switch, 2 Tag Switch, or 3 Energy Switch, 1 Tag Switch. That's definitely an inclusion you can make. Well, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Wasn't too long. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what you guys want to see next. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a great day.